everybody, thanks for joining. If you're new, my name is Eva, and if you're returning, thanks for coming back to watch another video. Today's video is about leather. I wanted to show you some bags that, in my experience, have some of the best quality leather. Just one caveat. You know that I have a large collection, so I do rotate my bags very frequently. So today's video, I'm not reporting on the durability of the leather or the wear and tear on the leather, but rather I'm commenting on the sensory experience of the leather, how the leather feels, you know, in my hands, and the thickness of the leather, or the richness or luxurious nature of the leather. So for today, I've chosen just to discuss contemporary brands because sometimes the quality is not based on the price or the fashion house, but what I'm going to show you today are from contemporary brands that I absolutely love, and I'll count down in order from number 6 down to number 1 as my all-time favorite. Okay, so let's start with Coach. I don't love all of the current Coach leathers, but I do really love the quilted Napa leathers that Coach is currently offering. So you can see I've got 2 bags here with the quilted Napa leather. One here is on the Heart Bag, and to be honest, I only bought this because I knew it was going to be in this quilted Napa leather, which I thought was great. The other bag that I have here is the Quilted Madison. You know, this was a really hot bag a few years ago, but they just recently discontinued it, which I think is kind of sad because I really like the design of this bag. You've probably all seen this before on YouTube channels, but just in case, I'm going to show you here. It comes with a braided chain, which could be worn on the shoulder or extended to be worn crossbody. It has a fantastic outer pocket and a double flap design here. So I really enjoy using this bag mainly because of the quilted leather. So this is the leather that they're using on their quilted tabbies now. I haven't gotten a quilted tabby because I have this bag and I'm still quite satisfied with it, and I feel like it has the same elements that I like anyway in terms of having the quilted leather and the flap design. But if you don't have a quilted Napa leather bag from Coach, I would highly encourage you to try one. 6, and we're counting down now to number 5. So this is my Tory Burch Petite Lee Radziwill Bag. I'm a little so-so on the actual design of this bag, and I do have it in mind to do an updated review because the last time I showed it in my Tory Burch collection video, I mentioned that I cut out the divider in the middle of this bag. So it is on my radar to make a video about an updated review about this bag. But when I do the review, you will hear me say the leather is great quality. It feels really thick, really nice to the touch. Actually, it feels very luxurious in terms, like when you touch this, you just know that it's good quality. It has suede on the sides of the bag, but otherwise it's just covered in what I believe is calf skin all around the bag. And it does have suede interior pockets here on the front and the back of the bag, and that also gives it a nice luxurious touch. Okay, moving down to number 4 is Dooney Burke. So this is an example of their Florentine leather. It's a little pochette. I showed it in my pochette collection. It's actually quite sizable to be a pochette because you can see there's a little bit of width to work with here. But the leather, can you see the sheen of the leather? My lighting is basically the reflection of the snow. That's why I've got my snowflake sweater on today, because when I'm recording we have about 10 inches of snow. So the leather is amazing on this bag. And I know it's from the Florentine collection because of this green suede trim here as you open it up. This bag has a zipper on the back wall and a little slip pocket here on the front wall. And there's a suede strip here on the middle of the bag. I do hope to get a bag in Florentine leather, you know, a larger bag in Florentine leather sometime in the future. I just haven't quite found the right design for me yet, but it is something that I'm hoping for. And before we move away from Dooney Burke, I also wanted to show you this bag. This is a Barlow bag. I'm having to look at my notes to remember it's Wexford leather. I think when you look at this on camera, it doesn't look all that special, but when you touch this, it's like, wow, what is that? The way I describe it, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's as if it is a silky leather. It is very smooth. It is very silky to the touch. You know, it's like trying to describe something that smells great on a YouTube video. Like, I know there's no way to experience, but I really wish that you could touch this so that you could experience this for yourself. I brought this pre-loved, and if you have a chance to get some Wexford leather in some design of a Dooney Burke bag, then I really recommend it. Okay, moving on to the 3rd entry on my list is from the brand Wallace. I got this bum bag last year during the 12 Days of Surprises. I didn't really want a bum bag, but I got it because it was in leather. And by the way, since I bought this bag, I've actually fallen in love with this design, and I made a whole video about that in case you are also a bum bag or sling bag resistor. then check that video out. It'll be linked below. In case you don't know about MZ Wallace, they focus on high quality nylon bags. And so for them to make something in leather, it's quite rare. But once I got this bag, then I knew that I wanted to add more. So I was on the watch for some other leather releases during their 12 days of surprises this past December. And that's when I picked up this small Sutton with a quilted leather as well. This bag is really cool because I think it has an elegant look to it because of the quilted leather, but it's also super relaxed because, you know, it's just a little handheld tote here. But I've used this quite a bit since I got it and I absolutely love it. All right, counting down now to number 2. This is Coach again, but this time vintage Coach. You might have heard me or other people talk about the quality of the leather on vintage Coach bags. They're full grain leather. They are backed in the natural suede. I mean, it's thick. You can just like feel this in your hand. The quality of the leather is just remarkable. This is the bag that made me fall in love with vintage Coach. It's Rambler Legacy. The last time I showed it on the channel, you could see that it just looked a little rough because I hadn't done any work to it. Well, it accidentally got a bath at my mom's house as I took it recently on a trip to visit my parents. One of my boys accidentally broke a snow globe and this bag happened to be right beside it on the dresser where it was located. And there was a lot of liquid that came out of that snow globe. So this got a bath on the bottom portion of the bag. So when I got home, I really gave it a good clean and condition and it looks so much better. So that's the thing, these leathers can be rehabbed, they can be conditioned, they can be cleaned, and they come back to life. That's one of the most special things about vintage Coach. Okay, we finally made it to number 1. My number 1 entry on my list of favorite leathers is from Longchamp. And I did a complete video about Longchamp leathers. If you are interested in learning more about Longchamp, besides, you know, their famous Pliage nylon bags, then I highly encourage you to watch that video and I'll have it linked below. So this bag is my current favorite leather bag in my collection. It is a Le Pliage extra small. This is a Le Pliage. As I just mentioned, they're really well known for their nylon Le Pliage styles, but this one, as you can see, is in quilted leather. And the quilts are huge. So I love that kind of exaggeration because the bag is kind of small, it's an extra small, but to have such huge quilts on it, I think is really charming. And this is what it looks like. Those quilts go all the way on the back and it has a solid leather base. And this is just like rubbing a baby's bottom. It is so, so smooth. So this is in a lambskin and it's just so squishy and delicious. I've been afraid to use this in the past, but this year when I put up my black bags, I was just like, yes, I'm not waiting anymore. I am using it and I have thoroughly enjoyed using it this winter so far. This leather reminds me of my YSL puffer bag. I loved the leather on that bag. I sold it last year, not because I didn't love the leather on the bag, but because I had a perfume smell in it when I got it secondhand and I couldn't get rid of it. And plus I was trying to build credit on Fashionphile, as you probably remember that story. But I did miss a little bit having that bag in my collection because I thought the leather was great. But this is just as good. I've seen these bags come up every once in a while on the Raellescloset, both in black and a creamy white. So if you see one, I would definitely recommend you picking it up. And I wanted to say, if you're a content creator, I'd love to see a video about your favorite leathers. Could be contemporary brands, luxe brands, a combination, anything that works for you. I would really enjoy seeing your video. I'll tag a few friends below that I think might be interested in this topic, but even if you're not tagged, consider yourself welcome to join in and make a video. Thanks for joining me as I counted down my favorite leathers in my collection. Let me know, what are your favorite leathers in your collection? I'd love to hear from you. All right, well, you take care and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.